today we have an amazing guest, and his name is Sam. And and if anybody can beat his smile, I want to see it. I want to see it right now. Come on, who can smile better, bigger smile than
Come on,
Sam?
Eileen.
Come
Come
on,
on. You
guys.
got it, Eileen.
Come
Eileen,
on,
you got
guys, smile, right? Yeah. When you smile, you cannot be fearful. When you smile, you're unstoppable. When you smile, you have confidence, right?
it.
And you have that courage. This is courage to thrive. So I'm grateful for Sam. He's our team leader. He's also a mega agent. I mean, he was with that other company with the balloon. And you know what we did? We popped the balloon, and here he came floating right to Keller Williams. And you know what? Since Keller Williams, he continues to soar. I mean, he warms my heart with all the courage he has and all the passion he has to helping the agents. So I really want you guys to listen to his wisdom today, because I will say to you, this guy, I mean, talk about learning the Keller Williams model when he came. I don't think he slept for a year because
No,
he knows these models inside out. So
no.
you know what? I can go on, but I am going to introduce you to Sam Rosario.
Uh,
Please welcome him. And Sam, take it away, because remember, we've got our time limit to do all of
yeah,
this. So
yeah.
let's
So I'll keep it short, and this is unusual for me to keep it short. So I'll just go ahead and say, listen, I do sell real estate. Last year I did 50 homes, even as a team leader running the office, I sold 50 doing nights and weekends and stuff. I know it's discouraged, but I did it. But the reality is I'm still out there in the field. I'm still getting listings, still talking to people. So when I talk to you about my experience and I'm coaching or having conversations, I'm having these conversations. These are not something I made up, not something I read in a book. It's something I'm doing. Just yesterday I had a listing appointment. Just this morning, I put out market statistics on Instagram, and somebody wants to talk to me about home buying. So at the end of the day, this is the reality. So yes, I came from that other company. I love KW. I've been given an opportunity to be a business owner, which is something. I sold a lot of real estate, but I was never a business owner. I was a salesperson. And I remember that conversation from Bob when he said, you're doing a good job selling, but you're not doing a good job with your money. And I think that's what won me over ultimately when we sat at Growth 3501 and he made that statement to me. That really impacted me because he was absolutely right. I owed the IRS $28,000 and I had no plan of getting out of that debt, right? Because I was just sell, spend, really didn't have anything in there. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about mindset. And one of the biggest quotes that I love, and I posted it recently on my Facebook, is about having uncommon skill, about being a professional, right? And so this quote really resonated with me because I think in this time, in this quarantine time, in this time in our business, in our industry, it is so important that we know what it is to be a professional and what it takes. And one of the things that it takes is being on this call, right? Because developing script skills is an uncommon skill. Contrary to what people will have you believe, having script skills and understanding objections and handling them effectively is very uncommon in our industry. Hence why 5% of our industry only does 25 more or more transactions. That's 5%. Everybody else does less. Okay. So the quote is, a professional is a person who's paid to undertake a specialized set of tasks and orchestrate them with uncommon skill. And then Brian Buffini goes on to say that if you want to uncommon pay, you must develop uncommon skill. That is what we're doing. We're developing uncommon skill of being able to hold conversations and handle objections and help our clients make important decisions in their life. And so the mindset around it is this: you're not a salesperson. You're not selling a house. You're not trying to convince them that they're going to sell and this is what they're going to do. What you're trying to do is help them build wealth, right? Keep wealth, right? Increase their wealth and help them build something or the most important event of their life. And that's what you really need to reframe that conversation around. If you're a professional helping someone achieve probably one of the most important endeavors they're ever going to achieve in their life, which is either buy or sell a home. It's super important on both ends. And so that's what we talk about. So today I wanted to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about an expired script, but more importantly, the statistics. So I'm going to go through a script with Usha. And this script is about knowing your numbers and understanding the market statistics. I don't need some pre-templated script really to be honest with you. If I know my numbers in the market statistics, I can use that to my advantage. And that's really the conversation that's going to separate you from everybody else in this market. So if we can, Usha, you're my seller, and we're going to go through an expired listing script. And one of the first objections Usha is going to give me is, another Keller Williams agent? How many of you have ever heard that? Right? Another Keller Williams agent calling me, right? So, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, is this Usha?
It is Usha. Yes.
Hi, Usha. This is Sam Del Rosario. I'm with Keller Williams Real Estate. I noticed your home was no longer on the market, and I was calling to see if you still wanted to sell it.
Keller Williams. Did you just say Keller Williams?
I did.
Can I just tell you, like, you are the fifth person that called from Keller Williams, and I'm just about, you know what? Everybody's saying the same thing, so I don't really know what you have to say, but I don't know that I have time for you right now.
Well, I appreciate that. And I understand 100% that sometimes getting multiple calls about the same issue could be distracting. So let's make this the last time you get a call from one of our agents. Let me talk to you a little bit about why those calls are happening. First and foremost, did you know that Keller Williams is the number one company that sells real estate here in the Lehigh Valley?
Well, I didn't know that, but I guess because so many of them are calling me, I guess that, I don't know, that you must have a lot of people out there.
Absolutely. And what those agents are doing for you is they're actually doing what we call active prospecting. Now, there is a difference between actively prospecting and passively prospecting, which about 95% of our market does. Do you know the difference between the two?
Well, no, I just want to get my home sold. You know, the last agent just never got my home sold. So
Awesome.
really, I don't understand all this jargon, but
Mhm.
I just want to get my home sold.
You
So
know,
I
that's,
don't know what you have different,
yeah.
but you know, you just have a couple of minutes because I'm going to take it off the market for a while anyway.
I appreciate that. And so let me ask you, if you had sold that home yesterday and got a full price offer, where would you be going today?
Well, we're looking at a home in Florida, so we're just going to get a little apartment, and then we're going to move to Florida.
Okay. And what was your time frame to be moved?
Well, I don't want to spend another winter here because if we're going to be quarantined, I'd rather be on the beach.
No, I understand. So yesterday would have been a good time for you to be in Florida already, right?
Well, that was our plan. You know, that's the plan that we had with my husband. Yeah.
Well, I could appreciate that. And yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you, why do you think your home did not sell?
I don't really know. I mean, you know, nobody really told me anything. I just know that it was just sitting around. I mean, we had some showings and, you know, but
Really?
that's not all that happened. I mean, it's just been really frustrating. I mean, you know, I thought that this was going to be easy. You know, people said that it was going to be easy to sell a house, and it's just been a very frustrating thing for us.
You know what? I understand that. So let me ask you on that note, you did mention the agent. How did you pick your last agent?
Well, you know what? We actually saw that they were, you know, they were on Zillow, so we kind of picked the agent because of that.
Okay, great, great. So let me ask you, well, let me tell you this. The only reason generally a home doesn't sell in this market is often due to exposure. Did you know that?
I don't know what you mean by exposure.
Exposure is kind of similar to what I mentioned when we talked about in the beginning about Keller Williams agents, right? One of the reasons why we actively prospect is because not only are most of those agents looking for listings, they often have listings that they're also selling as well. And so exposure means when they're having conversations with sellers like you, they're exposing oftentimes the inventory levels of the market. They're helping buyers and sellers just like yourself make decisions about how to sell their home, when to sell their home, and when the right time is to sell their home. And so when we talk about exposure, we're talking about marketing and increasing the availability of people to actually get a chance to look at your home and increase the amount of chances you're going to get a buyer to put an offer on it. If I can show you how you can upgrade your exposure and how you can make improvements and get your home sold in the next 30 days, would that be worth about 30 minutes of your time?
So you're saying you can sell my house in 30 days? I mean, we were on for 6 months. It was a nightmare.
Yeah, well, I would tell you, if I can get your home sold in the next 30 days and get you to your destination of Florida so you can enjoy the beach in June and July, would that be of interest to you? Would that be 30 minutes worth of time? Would that be worth your time for 30 minutes?
Well, we just want to get this thing sold. So,
Yeah.
but you know, I mean, if we don't get it sold until about August, then that's going to be fine. But right now, I just don't want to put it on the market. So, you
So
know,
let me ask you, and I want to just kind of ask you, you know what concerns me about that? Are you familiar with how many homes went on the market this week?
Well, nobody's selling anything. I mean,
Oh.
I mean, did you not hear about COVID? I mean,
I did. I did. And did you know in the month of April, a total of over 550 homes sold while we were still on lockdown?
well, how I can't imagine how they sold any homes because,
Yeah.
I mean, I was told that nothing was selling.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's not true. And as of May 19th, real estate actually is now considered essential. And in the last 3 days, over 178 homes went on the market here in the Lehigh Valley. Would that surprise you?
Did you say 170 homes?
I did. And did you know about 76 homes sold in the last 3 days? Would that surprise you as well?
Well, yeah. I mean, I had no idea that things were actually selling.
Yes. So one of the things that we've been telling our clients, and certainly I will share with you, is there is so much pent up demand on the market for homes, just like yours, that I think waiting until August or waiting to list your home, we don't know what's going to happen in the market 3 months from now. What we do know is what's happening in the market of the moment. What I do know is about 160 homes went under contract in the last 3 days. And I do know that there's buyers and sellers looking to sell and buy. And we can count on one thing, right? That homes are going to sell regardless of the market, because we've already demonstrated that to be the case. Now, I don't know what's going to happen 3 months from now, 4 months from now, Usha. What I do know is that we do have 39 million people unemployed. We do not have changes to the economy. What I do know today is that we have pent up demand. Homes are selling 98.8% of their list to sold value, and they're lasting 37 days on average on the market. And that was our report from April. Do you want to be part of that trend, or do we want to wait to figure out what 40 million unemployed people are going to do to our economy 4 months from now?
I had no idea. I don't know that I can meet you because my husband really does not want, anyone coming into our home right now.
Well,
So,
that's wonderful. As a technology company that we are here at Keller Williams, we have a virtual online sellers presentation that we can do with you through a Zoom call, where I can share my value proposition with you online, and we can walk through the home and do a virtual tour. Basically, you help me understand a little bit about what your home is like, and show me a little bit around with your camera, if that's the best way. We can do in person. There are some safety precautions in place by the governor that I can do and still be able to safely look at your home in person. But if you prefer virtual, we're built for that as well. That's our company.
yeah, my husband's gonna have to set that up because I'm, this whole technology stuff, I can't figure it out. In fact, even
Awesome.
family stuff, he always takes care of all that. So
Good,
I'll
good.
have to ask him about that.
Well, why don't we set a tentative date for us to meet? A date and time, a tentative date, and if something changes, you can let me know. Can we do that?
Yes, absolutely. We're at home, you know.
Good. So I have tonight at 5 p.m. and I have tomorrow at 9 a.m. Which would work for you?
Tomorrow would be a good time. Tomorrow would be a good time because, Saturdays, he's not so busy, on Saturdays. So I
No
think he could
problem.
take the time to fix the computer things up.
Perfect. So I'm going to pencil you in here. I just need your email. I'll send you a calendar invite and we could do our meeting in the morning.
You better have my husband's because, I don't do that email thing either. His email is bobwells@kw.com.
All right. Awesome. So I'll send an invitation to your husband. I look forward to meeting both of you tomorrow and having a good discussion on how we can get your home sold. Okay.
Yep, that would
Awesome.
be great.
Thank you. So what do you guys think about that? So we can go in detail if they said objections, knowing the market statistics, guys, in the last 3 days. And I posted that immediately because I thought it was such fantastic news. 182 new listings because it just refreshed. 182 new listings. We have 127 pending just in the Lehigh Valley, Northampton, Lehigh County, and we have 76 sold in 3 days.
There was one part of it that I thought was absolutely beautiful. And that was when you asked them if she wanted to put her house on the market now or wait to see what 40 million unemployed people are going to do to the economy. I mean, that really created some pain and pressure for her to take some kind of action.
Yes.
That was really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, I use that a lot, and some people say, well, why would you bring national news to a local issue? And I will tell you guys, just this morning, I was listening to CNBC and they were talking about the commercial market. The idea that telework is maybe the future for businesses, right? So what impact does that have on the commercial industry? What impact does it have to do? What does that have on office space? And if it's going to impact commercial industry and commercial real estate, that has a trickle down effect to the rest of our industry. So that's a good conversation. That's not scaring people. That's not fear mongering. It's just putting a little bug in the ear of, does that make sense that people want to telework now versus going in the office? Can you see the trickle down effect from that industry affecting us? Absolutely. And so that's an objection handler. And most people are watching the news. So when you say 40 million unemployed, it resonates because they just watched the news last night and went to bed with the fear in their mind that the economy is going to crash.
Just remember, when you get leverage, right, and this is exactly what you did, you've got two ways to get leverage to get somebody to do something they don't want to do so they can have what they really want. You can give them a picture of the pleasure that they're going to do if they make a decision, and you can give them a picture of the pain. Pain and pleasure are equally affected. Actually, pain is more so in getting people to move. So that was awesome.
Thank you, guys.
And then what I loved about what I also loved about all of this was, for everyone on the call, don't forget, just because you get one roadblock, from the seller, doesn't mean you're like, oh, okay, I'll call you tomorrow or I'll call you next week, right? Just see how you can navigate. I mean, I threw up a lot of roadblocks, right? I mean, there was a lot. Sam and I did not practice this at all, anything like that, right? But the reality is, this is the kind of stuff we're going to get now, right? We're going to get things that people don't know the market. It's really important that you know your market. Whatever's going on in your MLS, make sure you know how many listings came up today, how many went pending today, this week, so you can talk and talk to people about that knowledgeably, right? That is the skill.
And I have one last thing. Be proud of your company. One of the things that I will tell you, if you get an objection about how many Keller Williams agents are calling them, I turn that objection around as to, and what is everybody else doing to get your home sold? What is everybody? See, what those agents are doing is actively prospecting for business, which is why we're the #1 real estate company in the Lehigh Valley, or in what area you're in. But the reason why we are is because our agents are actively selling real estate. There's a difference between active and passive selling, and we're active. And you want to make sure that you're telling them that our agents are aggressive, because 11 in the Lehigh Valley, 11 out of every 100 homes are sold by a Keller Williams agent. 11. The next competitor is 3 out of 100. So what are your chances of getting your home sold with a Keller Williams agent versus the next competitor? And the chances are almost 2 to 1 getting sold by us. Knowing that and being proud of it and having that discussion, don't be ashamed of it. Don't be like, oh my God, they called, and you're right. You're probably getting a bunch of coaching agents calling you.
Don't apologize for it.
Don't apologize for being aggressive agents, because you can say, you know what, I understand you're getting a lot of calls. You know, that kind of is what made us the #1 company here in the Lehigh Valley. Let me share with you what we do and why we get homes sold just like yours, and really have that conversation. It's a huge part of it.